A very good evening, Zimbabwe. Welcome to the Women's Round Table this Thursday, November the 11th, 2021. I'm Marvellous Mhlanga-Nyahuye, broadcasting from my home in Washington, D.C. due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
And I'm loSithandekile Mhlanga, and COVID-19 pandemic is one of the issues. We'll also give you an update on today with the Minister of Health saying as of 9 November 2021, Zimbabwe had 133,242 confirmed cases. That is since the outbreak in March last year, including some recoveries, more than 128,000 and 4,691 deaths.
And we also look at the COVID-19 vaccination program, which is now in its second phase. And the government said it has inoculated to date more than 3.2 million people, or over 3.3, according to the figures from the Ministry of Health, have been inoculated against COVID-19. And they're also saying they needed to reach a herd immunity of 10 million for the program to be a success. So they will be carrying on with vaccination programs. And yesterday, the ministry also said, Ministry of Information said that they were starting, or they are continuing with a program where children between the ages of 16 and 17 will be inoculated against COVID-19. So we'll be looking at some of these issues, and we'll also be speaking to some women who are doing some projects during this COVID-19 pandemic to help other women.
Yes, ma'am. And talking of women's projects, we'll be looking at, we are hoping to have an official from Zim Imbokodo, and we already have some of our guests, as we have previously said. Yebo-ke kulabo abasanda ukusixhuma namhlanje, siyabe sicubungula ezitshiyeneyo khonapha uhlelo lwethu lwe-Livetalk Women's Round Table. Sibona nje kungolwesine mhla ziku-11 November 2021 uLwezi phela. Siyabe sikhangela indaba ezitshiyeneyo. Sikhangela lo daba olulokhu lusidla ubhedu olwe-COVID-19. Siyabona ukuthi sikhuluma kanje ugatsha olubona ngezempilakahle luthi lona kulanga elilodwa nje eledlulileyo esingathi ngesilungu ngesingisi past 24 hours kube labantu abangamachumi amathathu lasikhombisa ke 37 abahlaselwe leli gciwane, kwabhubha oyedwa. Kodwa ke siyabona ukuthi livela katshana leli gciwane, njalo abantu asebabhubhayo ke sebebanengi, sebesedlula ke inkulungwane ezine, 4.6,000 selokhu igciwane leli laqhamukayo ngomnyaka odluleyo, lanxa nje ugatsha lwezempilakahle lusithi amanani la ayehla. Siyabona ukuthi baningi abalokhu besamukela umjovo okwenqabela i-COVID-19, njalo sikhuluma nje sebedlule izigidi ezintathu, 3.3 million asebehlatshele ijekiseni. Njalo uhulumende lokhu ekhuthaza ukuthi abantu baphume ngobuningi babo, ngoba ungahlatshwa ijekiseni ukhangelele ukuthi igciwane le-coronavirus, umkhuhlane we-COVID-19, waphonga ukuhlasela nje mahlayana. Yebo-ke yikho lokho esake sikhuluma khona. Sizakhuluma njalo labanye abahlonitshwa bethu balwela amalungelo abesifazane, esikhangelele ukuba labo kulona lolu uhlelo Marvellous. Njalo sikhangelele kakhulu-ke
thina kuchingamidza ine mufaro pano pachirongwa chedu Let's Talk chemadzimai patiri kutarisa isu nyaya yedenda reCOVID-19, uyezve tichitarisa isu mabasa ari kubatwa nemadzimai mukubatsira vamwewo madzimai panguva ino yeCOVID-19. Totarisa kuti pari zvino bazi rezveutano rinozivisa kuti kubva denda iri ratanga reCOVID-19 muna machigore rapfuura, pane vanhu vanodaudzira 133,000 vawanikwa ivo vachibatwa nedenda reCOVID-19, kwozouyawo vamwe 128,000 nekudaudzira vawanikwa ivo vachibatwa nedenda iri vachiri kunda. Totarisa vashaya kubva kudenda iri kubva ratanga vasvika ivo vanodaudzira 4,600 zvinoreva kuti 4,600 nekudaudzira. Tozotarisa vanhu vabayiwa nhomba yeCovid-19 munyika pari zvino vari kusvika ivo pa 3.3 million nekukwira. Uyezve hurumende inoti iyo inoda kuti ibaye vanhu vanosvika ivo 10 million kuitira kuti denda iri riwanikwe richigadzirisika munyika pari zvino. Aiwa, tichange tiine vanyarikani vedu vari pano vachange vari kutaura nesu pamusoro pemabasa avari kubata panguva ino yekurwisa denda iri reCovid-19. Tina amai Joyce Mupamhirwa vanozikanwa nezita rekuti Aunty Joyi vachange vainesipo pano pachirongwa chedu. Uyezve tine vamwezve munyarikani wedu sisi Victress Mathuthu vari paSouth Africa apo vachange vari kuuya zvakare vachitaurawo pamusoro pemabasa avari kubata panguva ino panyaya iyoyi panguva ino apo nyika nepasi rose vari kuedza kurwisa denda reCovid-19. Saka takamirira kuti tione kubva kuna Aunty Joyi. Ndinoziva kuti network yekuZimbabwe iri kuti netsei pari zvino, asi ndambovaona vari pano ipapa pachirongwa chedu, asi regai timboona zviri kuitika mune dzimwe nzvimbo panguva ino yeCovid-19. Takamirira kuti tinzwe kubva kuna Aunty Joyi pamusoro pemabasa avari kubata.
But every single shift that I've ever worked as a nurse, at least one patient is going to use curse words at me, is going to make violent statements towards me.
Coase says the COVID-19 safety protocols aren't always welcome.
They're taking their frustration out on visitor policies and the vaccines, and the treatments have just been so over-politicized that it's politics at this point that's driving the problems.
A September survey from National Nurses United shows that 31% of hospital nurses experienced workplace violence, up more than a third since March. ICU nurse Mawata Kamara says a national nursing shortage is partly to blame.
We have more people getting agitated for things such like waiting too long in the emergency room. Unfortunately, the reality is I have other patients that are also equally sick, and I can only dedicate a certain amount of time to this patient.
After being assaulted, nurses can report what happened to supervisors or the police, but they don't always do so. On social media, however, they are not so shy.
Nurses are afraid to report anything because of retaliation, because of feeling like they're going to be blacklisted, or they're told by the facility not to make a report because of patient satisfaction scores.
That's where accountability breaks down. No reporting means attackers can get off scot-free, explains Richard Moreau of the Emergency Nurses Association.
We're up to approximately 31 states that have felony laws. So if you violently assault an emergency nurse, if you are convicted and it's a felony, it's generally a year of jail time or even more.
A proposed law in the U.S. Senate would require employers to protect nurses and others from reprisal for reporting abuse. It also mandates tailored prevention plans. The Maryland Hospital Association represents 53 hospitals and 7 health systems. In the last 5 years, its members have taken multiple steps to prevent workplace violence.
More cameras, more actual security guards, sometimes with canine.
But with all the politics in this pandemic, security only goes so far.
The nature of healthcare in a hospital is such that you can't eliminate the opportunity for harm. I mean, you've got to have caregivers and patients face to face.
Nurses like Kamara want a seat at the table when hospitals plan for safety.
Nurses don't want to quit, but if a nurse had to choose between, keeping a job and coming home, with a broken jaw or coming home traumatized every day, I think a lot of people would choose their peace of mind.
The more than 4 million registered nurses in the United States have shouldered a huge burden in the pandemic. A little help from their patients, they say, shouldn't be too much to ask. Veronica Valderas Iglesias for VOA News, Washington. Be too much to ask. Veronica Valderas Iglesias for VOA News, Washington.
We are watching there and listening to what has been happening here in the United States, especially to healthcare workers. And this is not just happening in the United States, but we've seen it worldwide where healthcare workers are complaining that because of the COVID-19 pandemic, they are facing some pushback from some of their patients. But we do actually have some of our guests that are here. But I'm going to go ahead and play another video of what's going on in Zimbabwe regarding maternal health care that was done by Columbus Mavunga.
Belinda Kazimisi is from Mount Harare, Zimbabwe, which is
the Mozambique border, about 200 kilometers north of Harare. She's one of the Zimbabwean mothers seeing the benefits that have grown from money provided by UNICEF.
From the time I got pregnant until the delivery of my child, I didn't pay anything. When I delivered, I was given soap, cotton, and other things for free. It was nice compared to what used to happen before.
With funding from UNICEF, the Zimbabwe government has hired health workers who encourage pregnant mothers in rural villages to seek assistance from the country's health institutions to avoid complications.
Rwendo rwako rwokuti mwana unouya zvakanaka kunyange nhumbu yako mwanangu mukati imomo yezvinokwana nezvirwere unofana wakagadziriswa mwana asati abuda. Uri kuona mumashure umu vamwe unozoona mwana achibuda ari murwere haana kuendawo. Ndokukurudzira kwatinoita kuti vauye kuno.
Dr. Tajudini Oyewale, the UNICEF representative in Zimbabwe, says having health workers in rural villages and funding the country's health sector are both paying off.
And when you look back at the latest result of the multiple indicator cluster survey, Zimbabwe has successfully halved maternal mortality ratio in the last 10 years. And this is a combination of different efforts of everyone. The challenges are real because the world is evolving.
UNICEF's Campo was a junior official in Zimbabwe for the UN agency when it launched the Health Transition Fund, a multi-donor pooled fund to support the country's barely functioning health sector in 2012. This week, Campo has been in Zimbabwe to assess whether the fund has changed Zimbabwe's maternal, newborn and child health systems. He says the fund is bearing fruits.
And I'm very pleased with the progress which Zimbabwe has made in terms of providing health services to their entire populations. It is not perfect, but I think Zimbabwe can be proud of the achievement made.
The Mali national said Zimbabwe now has a fully functional health system in primary health care, a sharp contrast to what the nation had nearly a decade ago. Columbus Mavunga for VOA News, Mount Darwin.
The Mozambique border for VOA News, Mount Darwin, Zimbabwe.
We're hearing there a report on the maternal health situation in Zimbabwe from Columbus Mavunga. But we are lucky, Star, we have one of our guests who is here with us, Victress Mathuthu. My guest is still trying to log on, so hopefully we'll be able to have her move on. Welcome to the program, Miss Mathuthu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, Star.
Lapho-ke besizwa-ke besibona imfanekiso eqotshiweyo lapha isitshengiso okwenzakalayo kwezempilakahle khonapha kwele Melika lakwamanye amazwe. Yebo-ke bekhuluma ngezempilakahle lokunye nje okutshiyeneyo. Siyakwamukela kuhlelo Nkosazana Mathuthu.
Ngiyabonga msakazi njani?
Hayi, siyathaba ukuba lawe besusithi uhlupho lwamagetsi lakho luyalubhahe khona ngapho. Isinjani load shedding?
Phakathi kwayo nje manje awekho amagetsi khona la.
Hawu, manje ungene njani ho?
Manje la khona kule generator so ikwazi ukukhipha in.
Manje akufundile lapho khona. Yebo-ke lasicubungula njengenhlala yenza-ke esiphathelane labesifazana lamhlanje-ke sikhangela ukuthi lawe ukhokhela inhlanganiso elwela amalungelo abesifazana yeZim Imbokodo, lawo imbokodo ngokwayo. Ungasitshela ukuthi siyabona ukuthi bekukhulunywa kathesi kungani kuhlupho lama-permit lalo lungaduba abantu, kodwa njengoba lungafiki ungathi abantu baphatheke kubi yini kumbe hayi bamelele ukuthi bazabona ukuthi kuzahamba njani?
Indaba yama-permit abantu ngabona sebecabanga ukuthi sidlulelwe yisikhathi, yikho bangasela kubekezela ngoba ngalesi sikhathi izikhathi ezidlulileyo sasesazi ukuthi kwenziwani ngawe. So njengomuntu obheke omama abaningi bakhathazekile, babuza insuku zonke ukuthi manje kuthiwani, mase silandela kuma-social media lapha abantu bekhuluma loba yini. Abomama sebehamba bedobha inkulumo abazizwayo lapha kuma-social media, bazozuza ukubuza ukuthi liqiniso elingakanani. Kodwa lathi impendulo asilayo, sisalokhu sizile ukuthi sizi ukuthi wezasekhaya lapha eSouth Africa uzathini. Esithemba ukuthi laye ube sike wakhupha inkulumo yokuthi laye ulinde iCabinet yeSouth Africa ukuthi itsho isinqumo ngama-permit. Kodwa sokusikhalise kanzinyana impela sesithezile isibule esisodwa ngoba sazi ukuthi kuzokwenzekani.
Yebo, kodwa libona njani ukuthi udubo lolu lufakwe phambi kwedale lephalamende yakhona ngapho? Libonani kulungile yini kumbe hayi sokuzavulela inhlungu eziningi kulabo abangafuni ukuthi abantu bephiwe ama-permit? Sihluzwa ngumuntu wonke.
Singakubeka kucaca ukuthi loba ngubani emzini wangakibo akulula ukuthi avele amukele abantwana bakamakhelwane. Loba kungenzeka ukuthi ubaba usuke kwazi ukuthi hayi abantwana bakamakhelwane bahlezi lapha ngenxa yani, abantwana kunzima ukuthi bamukele. So ukuthi kuthathwe indaba le yama-permit kuhanjiswe uhulumende wase-South Africa ahanjiswe ezinkantolo kumbe kube lokungathi kuyadonsiswana ngokuthi sokungathi ama-permit la asefunakala ngenkani, kungenzeka kube nomthelelo omubi kakhulu esinqunyweni esibili ukuthi sithathwe iCabinet yeSouth Africa mayelana ngama-permit. Ngiyethemba ukuthi khonokho lezi ezenzakalayo asoze zi-affecte isinqumo seCabinet.
Maybe, Star, let's take also our Zimbabwean guest because of the network issues quickly. Hello, welcome to the program, Aunty Joyi. I know you're in Zimbabwe, just like Victress was saying, there's an issue of connectivity, even there in South Africa. But Tomboku tambira ine mufaro ipo pano, mungati tsanangure kuti ndimi ani uye zvekuti sangano renyu rinonzi chii?
Okay, thank you so much. Inini zita rangu ndinonzi Joyce Mupamhirwa. Randinoshanda naro ndinonziro Aunty Joyi. Inini ndinoitawo basa rekudzidzisa madzimai kunonziwo kurongeka muupenyu. Not kuti ndakanyanya kurongeka sei, but tichida kubatsirana semadzimai kuti tingazvifambise seiwo kuti dzimba dzedu dzimire zvakanaka uye titarisikirewo kunze zvakanaka, like kubika, dheko yemumba, kuitawo makeup semudzimai, kungozvishambidzawo uchingoonekerawo semukadzi akarongeka. Ndo zvimwe basa randinonyanya kuita iroro. Nekunenge vanenge vachinetsekana kuti marriage yangu iri kunetsa pakati nepakati, tobatsirana. Tine magroup ari kuWhatsApp, tine page riri paFacebook, kuInstagram. Ndo zvandinonyanya kuita izvozvo.
Makatanga sei kuti mufunge kuti regai nditange kuita izvi tichiona kuti vazhinji vari kudzimbikana nezvinhu zvakawanda nyanya madzimai panguva ino yeCovid-19?
Okay. Iri basa iri ndakaritanga ndofunga 2017. Ndakangotanga uri group 1 nyaya kuti ini ndiri munhu anonyanya kuda marriage, kuti munhu wese angogarawo mumba handiti. So ndakatangawo kungoti ndoda kuvhura group timbobatsirana semadzimai, tichionesana, tichinamata tiri pamwe chete. Saka magroup aya akatanga kubatsira vanhu vakawanda kusvika azosvika mu26 magroup. Ndokuona kuti WhatsApp manje yanyanya kuti kurei, magroups anyanya kuwanda chirega ndichienda kuFacebook. Dheko ndizvo zvimwe chete, nekubika ndizvo zvimwe chete. Takangotanga karika group yekubika kusvikira ratoone mukurumbiro vanhu vakutanga kudzidza kudini kubika nedheko iyoyo. Saka ndakangozvitangawo ndangonzwawo kuti ndofanira kudini kungoitawo basa irori. Kutaura chokwadi zvakange zvisiri nyore, asi Mwari vakatikundisa. Ndaitonamata kuti Mwari dai vatikwanisirawo vakadzi vazhinji vazivawo zvandinoda kuedza kuti munhu azive. Saka ipapa tine magroups edu kuti makuseni tinonamata, vanhu vodzidziswa kugara mudzimba zvakanaka. Toendawo kupeji kugroup rekubika, tobika, toenda kudheko, todhekoreta mudzimba tichishingisana semadzimai kuti marriage haingosiwe mukadzi ndianoshingirira. Sandike munguva yeCovid inei yatatiri yange isina kutombomira zvakanaka. Vazhinji varume vakarasikirwa nemabasa, vamwe vana amai vakarasikirwa nemabasa, zvikave zvinhu zvakanetsa kunyanya budget yaisandike malockdown ekutanga zvidzigara mumba nemurume wako, vazhinji vairovana, vamwe vachiurayana. Saka ndaive ndiripo ndichidzoreredza kuti mudzimai unoziva kuti imba haidiwo munhu anonyanya kuda kubva anyanya kuda kuongororesa stereki. Kana murume achinge apo ngatigarisane zvakanaka kusvikira lockdown ichinopera, tikadzidzisana budget kuti unofanira kubhajetawo sei panguva yatiri inei, nekuti madyiro ataita kana nemafariro ataita Covid isati yayoko zvatisiyanei, ndava mari haichabatike zvakanaka. Saka ndo mamwe madzidzisiro ataita semadzimai.
Tombotarisa kuti muri kutaura imi nyaya yebudgeting, munodzidzisa kuti chine kuti vazhinji vari kutaura zvamataura izvi kuti vakarasikirwa nemabasa. Saka tichitarisa kuti kisimusi yakuzosvika, munoti kumadzimai panguva ino, panguva tiri pasi peCovid-19?
Ini nangu panguva yatiri inei hakuna munhu asiri kuzviziva kuti zvinhu zvasina kumira zvakanaka. Hakuna munhu asiri kuziva kuti mabasa, varume vazhinji vakarasikirwa nemabasa, vamwe masalaries akatokatwa chaiko chaiko. Saka wose mukadzi unofanira kungoziva kuti nguva yeChristmas yatakusvika iyi, kungogutsikana nepauri, kungogutsikana nezvauinazvo. Kana murume wako ati iwewe hatina mari yakaringana, mari yatinayo ndeyekutenga zvinokwana patime iyoyo, usazvikuvadze nepeer pressure kuti ndofanira kuita zvinhu zvinoonekwa nevanhu vese. Ita zvinoenderana nehomwe yako. Dumbo harina glass, hakuna anoziva kuti wadyei paChristmas. Christmas izuva rimwe chete. Nekuda kwemaproblems atakafesana nawo aya, tinofanira ngodzidza semadzimai kuti mamarriages edu agarisike zvakanaka. Nekuti kana taimbo-celebrate Christmas makore apfuura, tichipfachura, tichiita sei, tichifara nemhuri dzedu, pamwe pachona panguva yatiri inei hatisi kukwanisa kuita izvozvo. Saka semukadzi unofanira kungoziva kuti kana waimbotenga mombe yese kuti mudye, wakufanira kutenga mbudzi kana mari yacho iripo. Kana maimbotenga kana zvinhu zvakasiyana-siyana muchiita kuauti, makufanira kuita zvinokwanirana nemari yenyu, kuitira kuti zvinhu zvisazokunetsei. Ndava tichavhura zvikoro izvi, vana vachada kudzokera kuchikoro, vana vachada kutengerwa mabooks, vadatengerwa mauniforms, kunoda kutotanga maform 1, magrade 1. Saka kuti zvisazokuomere semukadzi, dhila nezvauinazvo. Hazvirevi kuti kupfachura ndo kurongeka, no. Tinoenderana nekuti situation yedumba medu yakamira sei. Vana amai, rendi dzinoda kubhadharwa January. Kana uchinyatsoona kuti murume wangu pamwe pari zvino awana bonus yake, chitendekawo zvokuti kana kashoma kawawana ikako, wokwanisa kubhadhara rendi yako, wokwanisa kuita zvinhu zvinobatika, kuitira kuti usazonetsane nemurume pamberi apo. Mumbosiya zvokuti tofanira kudini kufara chete. Kufara kunodiwa, but kana zvisina kuringana ngatidzidzei kudzika manai. Kana zvisina kuringana ngatidzidzei kushanda nezviripo. Ndopaunozoona murume dzimwe nguva akutadza kukunzwisisa, akugara akagumbuka, stress, wamupa stress nekuda kwepressure. Vakadzi ngatiregedzei kupa rume pressure. Ndoya pamwe nekuvarume ikoko, kana mari iripo zvinhu zvakaringana, mukadzi ngaachengetwe, mukadzi ngaafadzwe paholiday inei, ngaasurprise one tunhu hunge mari iripo. But kana pasina, mukadzi ngaagutsikane kuti vedu mari hapana. Matambiro ataita Christmas karaya, zvinhu zvakarongeka, aiwa atopfurira pari zvinhu hazvikwanisike kuti tipfurire mberi mufarire iwoyo. Ndava Covid yakauya ikakanganisa zvinhu zvakawanda. Saka mukadzi wese akarongeka anofanira kungonzwisisa kuti nguva yatiri inei vazhinji zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka. Uyewo ndichikurudzirawo madzimai mamwe kuti kana even panext pako, panext door kaunoti ava vanawo chikafu kutongopanana chaiko, nekuti vamwe mabasa akabva atopera, zvinhu zvakabva zvatodzokera kumashure. Saka semadzimai ndofunga tikangobatsirana ipapo, zvinhu zvinotiitira zvakanaka.
Apa tiri kutaura nemi muri kupi, uyezve vanoda kuti vashande nemi vanokuwanai kupi?
Inini ndiri kuZimbabwe, ndogara kuchitungwiza chaiko chaiko. Ndine Facebook page rangu rakanzi Aunty Joyi Zim, kwandinodzidzisa madzimai kubika, dheko nekutorayirana seizvezvi zvandiri kutongotaura ipapapa, nemakeup. Then kuma WhatsApp group ndinawo ari 26 ezviri mudzimba. yakanzi zviri mudzimba naAunty Joyi. Then pane rekubika 1 neredeco 1 nerehealth 1. Saka ese anobva aita 29. Ndo magrupu andinoshanda nawo, neremakeup rechi30 ndo magrupu andinoshanda nawo iwayo. Saka vanenge vachida kundibata papage pangu paripo paFacebook rakanzi Aunty Joyi Zim, kana kuti ku Instagram futi rakanzi Aunty Joyi Zim, paYouTube zvakare Aunty Joyi Zim.
Aiwa, tinotenda Aunty Joyi, moramba muripo timboenda tichimbonzwa zvikuitika kuSouth Africa. So we're hearing there from Aunty Joyi Zim, but maybe just say in English before I let you go so that we can also give a chance to Miss Mathuthu to tell us about what's going on in South Africa during this COVID-19. What are you seeing from women, especially in Zimbabwe, during this COVID-19? How are you assisting them? Hello, no, we can hear you. Carry on. I think her network is bad. So, Star, I think you can go over and speak to Miss Victress Mathuthu while we sort out the audio with Aunty Joyi. Go ahead.
Yebo ke lapho besizwa omunye ke umhlonishwa wethu okuthiwa ngu-Aunty Joyi esichasisela ke ngenhlelo aziqhubayo ezokufundisa abesifazana okuchiyeneyo ukugoqela ke ukupheka lokunye lokuzicomba ngama-makeup esithi ke ngama-projects ke ayenziwayo. Khona ngapho kwele South Africa nkosazana Mathuthu kukhona yini okunye okwenziwayo ngabesifazana ukuthi beziphilise okungayisikho ukuthi uqhatshiwe umuntu angazenzela ibhizimusi yakhe nje azihlalele aphile ngayo kumbe kunzima emazweni abanikazi?
Thina njengamaZimbabweans omama esihlala eSouth Africa ngicabanga ukuthi sesa-adjusta. Yebo sisekuhlambeni, sisemazweni abanikazi, kodwa sesa-adjusta safunda ukuthi impilo isilapho esikhona. Kuningi abantu abangomama abakwenzayo. Njengoba sikhuluma simuzwa u-Aunty Joyi la yethi lapha eZimbabwe omama bakhona abakwenzayo bayafundisana lokhu nalokhuyana. Lapha eSouth Africa abantu abamama abaningi njengoba ngesikhathi se-COVID-19 lesi abantu balahlekelwe yimisebenzi. Engikubonayo ukuthi abantu abasazifuthi kangako ukuthi njengoba umsebenzi ulahlekile babe belokhu bedinga umsebenzi. Omama sebafunda ukuthi ukuziphilisa akukho ngokuthi umuntu asebenze kuphela. Njalo noma abasebenzayo bakhona abaziphilisi ngokusebenza kuphela. Ngoba manje sibheka empilweni impela i-cost of living isiphezulu kakhulu lapha eSouth Africa. Ukuthi izimali lezi esizisebenzayo singomama sizihola zisigcine impela zikwazi ukuthi sifake ukudla ematafuleni for abantwana, sikwazi ukuthumela labasekhaya, sikwazi ukuphila khona lapha, angeke zize kuze kulunge. So singomama, iningi ngomama balezinto abazenzayo eceleni ngaphandle komsebenzi. Kuyathengiswa lapha kulezinto eziningi abantu amabhizinisi abawenzayo, abanye ngabathengisa ezitaladeni, abanye ngabathengisa izinto online. So sinanzelela ukuthi ngemva kokuthi kube khona i-COVID-19, yebo ingabe ike yaba luhlupho waba ngumkhuhlane ohlukumeze abantu, kodwa uthiye abantu abangomama behlakaniphile bekwazi ukuthi impilo noma nini iyakwazi ukuthi ijike ingabi lokho kade yikho khona. So omama abaningi bavukile bahlakanipha babona ukuthi ukusebenza kukhona kodwa okwenza ukuthi umuntu akwazi ukuthola imali. Abomama ngike ngabona abanye omama bethi bona sebethengisa impahla online kuyabasebenzela impela kulokuthi bayendlale phansi impahla bazithengisele esemgwaqweni, sebele indlela yokuthi ba-advertise impahla zabo khonapho kubo-Facebook nabo-Instagram, abantu baba-contacte khonapho bese bebuya kibo bezothenga. Okungenye indlela ekade omama bengayinanzelelanga ukuthi ingenzeka ukuthi bathengise online kuvezwe ukuthi abantu bekuma-lockdown. So bekungayenzi ukuthi noma ufuna ukuthi uphume uyethengisa lezo mpahla uphume ngoba sikuma-lockdown ukuvalela abantu abavumile ukuphuma. So abanye baze lecebo leli lokuthi hhayi ukuthengisa online akula contact eningi lama-customer, udinga ama-customer wakho online, angeke lize livelane igciwane le-COVID-19 online, bese libona ukuthi abantu belanda izinto zabo lenza njani. Kulula kakhulu kulokuthi uhlale phandle ulinde ama-customer ube exposed kugciwane leli le-COVID-19. So ziningi izinto omama sebezenza lapho engizibonayo engithi noma ngibhekile ukuthi i-COVID-19 isihlukumezile kodwa siye sihlakaniphile.
Yeah, kodwa kulula yini ukuthola ama-custom ukuthi abantu esingathi i-network batholana lula kumbe kunzima ukuthi omunye ungaphi omunye uzambona ngaphi?
Khona ukuthola ama-customer online akukho nzima kangako ngoba nxa sesibhekile ngalesi sikhathi samanje abantu abaningi vele izinto eziningi sebezenza online. So lo muntu odinga ukuthenga akasazihluphi kangako ngokulanda ulutho lapho oluthengiswa khona ngokulanda umuntu othengisayo. Umuntu usuka online ayedinga into ayifunayo afika athayisaneke lo muntu othengisayo bathengiselane. Khona akukho safe kangako kodwa ayikho enye indlela engenziwa phela kufanele sizile, kufanele abantwana bewonjiswe. So kulamanye ama-risk athathayo njengokuthi kwesinye isikhathi usungakwazi ukuthi uthengise online uthole i-customer kodwa umuntu omtholayo usuke ungamazi ukuthi umuntu onjani. Usuthembele ekutheni kuphela uNkulunkulu uzophathisa ukuthi lowo muntu kube ngumuntu kube li-customer eli-right elizimisele ukuthenga ngempela. Akhona vele amatsotsi amaqola akhona noma kungekho online kodwa online asebhahe kakhulu. Umuntu njengomama into okumele ayenze ukuthi uma ethengisa online abe careful aqaphele kakhulu. Ama-customer azame ukuthi awaverifye ngaphambi kokuba abathengisele lezo zinto abathengisela zona, ngaphambi kokuba bahlangane ne-customer ngoba kuningi osokungenziwa ngabantu bethulane online. Kodwa okwamanje akukho okunye okungenziwa, sizobe sihamba sivikana lawo ama-risk lawo okuyenza lezo zinto, sibe careful nje kuphela.
Ngezinye indlela abantu babuye ukuzothenga mathupha ebantwini, akula ukuthi uyabhadala online. Kusho ukuthi iningi alilakho kwama-bank account ukuthi kungabhadala online. Kumele umuntu aze abuye ngokwakhe emnyango aqoqode azobhadala.
Kubhadalwana online kuyenzeka kodwa asikugqugquzeli kubomama ukuthi nxa besenza amabhizinisi abo online lapha begcine bebhadaliwe, bayathenga bayawoda begcine be-odile izinto babhadala online izinto abangazibonanga. Ngoba ngesinye isikhathi bakhona abantu abasuke bafuna ukubawodisela izinto online, uthole ukuthi uzothola omama abafuna ukuwoda noba zimpahla. Asibagqugquzeli omama ukuthi babhadale online bengakaziboni impahla. Njalo labo nxa bethengisa futhi asigqugquzeli ukuthi bathathe izimali online laba-customer laba bengabonanga. Kuningi osokungenzeka, yebo khona indlela yokubhadalana online singayibona njengendlela elula. Kodwa ngesikhathi samanje esiphila kiso wonke umuntu udinga ithuba lokuthola imali. Labaqola abantu labo badinga amathuba okuthola imali. So siyagqugquzela omama ukuthi nxa uthenga kumbe uthengisa online khonapha kubo-Facebook o-marketplace ungayibhadali into ongayibonanga. Kungangcono uqale ulubone ulutho usenza i-transfer yakho online yokubhadala if ungafuni ukubhadala ngecheque. Kodwa qinisekisa ukuthi ulutho olubhadalayo uqale ulubone kuqala ngaphandle kokuba ubhadale. Lokhu uthengisa qinisekisa ukuthi i-customer uqale uyi-verify ubone ukuthi i-customer yangempela kuqala ngaphambi kokube kube le-exchange yemali.
Yebo, okay, that's very interesting. If you can summarize for us again the same information in English. What are the women doing there in South Africa to survive if they are, for those who are not formally employed?
Okay. What I can say is that COVID-19 is a pandemic that has destroyed many lives, that has disrupted many lives. But there is something good that has come out of COVID-19. Ladies who just lost their job, they just realized that anytime you can lose a job, and it's not that you can only earn something through working for someone. There are ways that women can survive, not only by working. You can just have a business, you can sell stuff, you can just start your own business. And COVID-19 has shown people that's possible. It's doable. We can do it. So there are things that women do. Some women just have resorted to selling stuff, and when you're selling, going to the street and maybe sit there and sell whatever you're selling, or you're a vendor, you're selling clothes, or you're selling paperweight, you're selling whatever you're selling. During the lockdown, you are not allowed to do that. You couldn't just go on the street and sell stuff because you will be exposed to COVID-19. And the lockdown regulations wouldn't allow you to do that as a vendor or as someone who wants to sell something. So women have now realized that they can use the social media like Facebook, Instagram, the online things that they can sell their things there. They can get customers from social media. And that has shown people that it's not only about working, it's not only about physical selling to someone. You can do it online. Technology has done it good for everyone. Because if you go on Facebook, you saw something or you want to buy something, you can get it there, then everything is done on the phone. We know that.
If I may just come in, what platforms are people using? I know I had Aunty Joyi Zim, they're saying in Zimbabwe they're mainly using WhatsApp, and then also I think she said at Twitter and Instagram. What platforms are people in South Africa, especially women, using to sell their wares?
I think all these social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp are worldwide. They are all over the world. So even here in South Africa, a lot of people are using marketplace on Facebook, and they use Instagram to advertise their stuff. They can use WhatsApp. You can have WhatsApp groups where you advertise your stuff and sell your stuff. All the social media platforms allow women to advertise their things and allow women to do business online, which is a very good thing.
Yes, and you can also go ahead and explain how you about the payment. That do they do the transactions online? You were saying you have offered them advice about that issue, or do they have people have to come physically to pay? Okay.
We all know that in everything that is done, there are opportunities. There are people who are waiting to just rob people. So we just talk to women and tell them that they must make sure that even if they do their business online, they must verify their customers. They must verify who they buy stuff from, because sometimes they order stuff to sell. You can even order from those social media platforms. But before you order and pay, you must verify how genuine the advert that you saw on social media is. Because while we are busy as women trying to make a living out of selling stuff, there is someone out there who's busy trying to make a living out of robbing people. So you just have to take a risk. You know it's not safe or selling or buying online, but as women, we are known of just taking risks. We will have to just practice that life that we can take risk. If you don't take a risk, just take a risk. Then sometimes you will just stay there and think that okay, I can't go online to buy stuff because I'm going to be robbed. But if you stay home and don't do that, and at the end of the day, you won't have food for your kids. You won't be able to take the kids to school. You won't be able to take care of yourself. So, in as much as we know that there are people who are waiting to rob us there, we just tell women to be very careful. Go online, sell your stuff, order your stuff, but go there and be very careful. Just verify everything you find on social media before you take anything.
Well, let me pose that same question to Aunty Joyi Zim. Kuti vanhu vamunoita mabasa yamunenge muri kuita muchivadzisa vanenge vachida kutengesa zvinhu zvavo pasocial media apa, munovadzidzisa here hungwaru hwekuti vanozoita sei kana vachinge vawana vanhu vanoda kutenga zvinhu zvavo? Aunty Joyi, I'm not sure if your network is still allowing you. I'm not sure. I think she might have frozen. But so I'll bring back our guest from South Africa while we try and work out the actual network issues. Ms. Mathuthu, I was asking Aunty Joyi Zim there that, if they have a similar situation in Zimbabwe, because I think that also happens here, Star, because we have such, platforms where people, when you buy something online, they actually encourage you to go, as in groups so that you don't get attacked or something like that. So I'd ask that question to Aunty Joyi Zim, but I think her network is also playing up. So maybe
I could say that she wasn't responding. She wasn't aware we're even talking to her. I think
she's frozen. Her network is not working. She's
okay. So yeah, that's a very risky business. People don't buy from verified website and so forth. Has she joined us again?
No, not yet. We can go ahead and continue.
Yes, Victress, coming back to the issue of permit, which we spoke of earlier on, we know people are waiting with bated breath to see if their permits will be renewed, and we know that some women also are looking forward to this. Would you say there are many women who also took opportunity of this? Are they as much as the men, or most of them don't have the permit? I knew there were gender issues concerning the uptake of the applications.
On this one, I'm sorry, I just have to say, I think there is as much women as men are on this thing of the ZEP. Because when we applied in 2010, it was like everyone, you go there and apply. Whoever didn't go there didn't want to go there. So I think there is maybe a lot of women than men who have the permit. So you can imagine how it's like when women are like now panicking, they don't know what's going to happen. I think in terms of panicking, women are more worse than men. Maybe men that just sitting there, said, whatever, come what may. They don't even care. But women, we just panicking, So it's something that I can say that a lot of women are also waiting for the outcome of this pending permit. So we just sitting here and hoping that the cabinet of South Africa will come up with a positive answer.
Yes, and we see that the issue is now in, they are planning to take the issue to Parliament. Would you say that's a good move? Because we're seeing that there are campaigns to the effect that Zimbabweans, people's permits should not be renewed. Do you think the government should just have done this quietly and not presented in Parliament? What's the feeling like there among Zimbabweans?
I just think all this commotion was caused by Zimbabweans who took the South African government to court about this permit. So after South Africans heard about that, they just went ballistic. They are now campaigning that the Zim permit must not be renewed. So if the government of South Africa is taking it to the Parliament, we're just hoping that the Parliament is not going to listen to its citizens and just think about us Zimbabweans who've been staying here since 2010, who've been using those permits. I know the South Africans are out there just advocating for the Zim permits not to be renewed. And I don't blame them. Sometimes maybe they've got a point. So, but as a permit holder, as someone who knows a lot of women who are permit holders, I'm just crossing my fingers that all this that's being spoken on the street about these permits not being renewed is not going to affect the Parliament's decision on this one.
Yebo ke ungasitshela ke ngesindebele ukuthi umumu unjani khona ngapha lesabelini ukuthi kungaba lodlakela lwenkethabetshabe khona ngapho nje ngoba indaba lesihlafunwa eParliament izizalwane zakhona ngapho ezingafuniyo abantu beZimbabwe.
Izizalwane ze-South Africa azikaze zibafune vele abantu baseZimbabwe. Lokhu ngokokuqala okumele sibe kwazi. And manje ngendaba yale amaphemiti ngoba sebezile ukuthi kuhlongoza ukuthi amaphemiti ayaphela kumele arenewe sebese bethatha ama-chance ukuthi labo bakhulume ukuthi abantu baseZimbabwe akumelanga barenewele amaphemiti. Ngicabanga ukuthi kuvele kusukele kuthini abavele abantu be-South Africa akazi bebathanda abantu baseZimbabwe kube ngithi akazi bebathanda abantu abavela ngaphandle. So lapha-ke sebethola ithuba lokungena ukuthi njengoba kuvele kuhlongozwa indaba yamaphemiti sebethola ithuba lokuthi labo bakhankase ukuthi amaphemiti la angavuselelwa, okuyinto engenza futhi ibe nomthelela ngoba phela i-South Africa, iParliament ye-South Africa iliphalamende labantu. Nxa abantu bakhona besitsho njalo sokungenzeka ukuthi iParliament yilalele abantu be-South Africa nezikhalazo zabo zokuthi abasafuni ukuthi amaphemiti abantu baseZimbabwe avuselelwe. So kungenzeka ukuthi mhlawumbe iParliament ingaphuza lesinqumo sokuthi amaphemiti azovuselelwa baphinde bavuse udlame futhi ukuthi bona bebefuna ukuthi amaphemiti angavuselelwa naye sevuselelwa bese kusiba ngumsindo.
Njalo sike sathinta udaba lwabesifazane ukuthi hayi kukhanya labo basukumela phezulu ngempela yini ukuthi bewabhalise. Siyakwazi ukuthi asilama statistics asingeke sakuthi gqogqo kodwa ngokuxoxa labo bakhona labo abalawo njalo abamelele ukubona ukuthi kuyowela ngaphi induku loxaxa.
Abantu abangomama abalamaphemiti lawo abalindileyo baningi kakhulu. esikeni sabantu abangu-10 ngingatsho ukuthi abangu-4 kumbe 5 but kulabo balamaphemithi ngomama. So omama baningi kakhulu abalinde amaphemithi. Ngo-2017 amaphemithi lawa evuselelwa nasiyinhlangano ye-Zim Imbokodo besisenzela abantu amabhuking kwadeni bawenze besiya apply amaphemithi. Senzele omama abaningi kakhulu. Njalo lokho kungenza ngikhulume impela ngingela kunanazi ukuthi baningi kakhulu omama abalamaphemithi okuyimanje balinde ngamehlo abo.
Nxa usithi labayenzela utshona ukuba phathisa ukuhambisa amaphepha kumbe lali sebenza lo hulumende we-South Africa njengenhlanganiso?
Hayi, besingasebenzile uhulumende we-South Africa, kodwa angithi uyabona ukuthi i-process yakhona eyokuthi umuntu aze afile amafomu, apply online, apply ukuthi ayefika khona ngale, apply iphemithi. Abanye omama abalayo abazange bebe la inhlanhla yokuthi bakwenelise ukuthi bazenzele khona lokho. Mina njengenhlangano ebhekele omama besisiza omama ukuthi sibasize ukuthi sibasizele online, sibasilele amafomu adinga ukuthi afilwe base behamba-ke beze applyela. Kodwa sisize omama abaningi kakhulu.
Yebo-ke, hayi kuhle ukuthi babencediswa-ke nakhonokho okwama-permits njalo kathesi okwamanje nje asasebenza. Kodwa ngaphandle kwalokhu inhlelo zabesifazana lokhu eziqhubeka yini bephathisa labakhona ekhaya njengoba sesibona ukuthi imigoqo ye-COVID-19 isingani yekethisiwe mbijana?
Yes, siyajabula ukuthi imigoqo ye-COVID-19 ngapha eSouth Africa yekethisiwe laseZimbabwe ngathi sokungcono kusefana. Njalo sikhulekele ukuthi njengoba kuhlongozwa lokuthi kuzukuza i-4th wave le-COVID-19 ingafinyeleli ngoba nxa ifinyelela kuzabuya kuvalwe futhi. Kodwa ma kungavalwanga isimo sinje kanje, inhlelo zethu zizahamba kangcono kakhulu ngoba ama-lockdown ayavala konke okusikwenzayo njengezinhlangano ukuthi nxa sifuna ukuthi sihambe siye ekhaya kumbe sisize khonapha siphakathi e-South Africa kuba nzima ukuhamba nxa siyukuthi si-under ama-lockdown. So nxa kuvuleka kuyekethiswa, siyathemba ukuthi njengoba sibhekele kuleli khefu lesifuna elizayo esiyibe sisebenzisa kakhulu ukwenza izinto esifuna ukuzenza ngoba sinikwe izikhathi lasemsebenzini, sibhekele ukuthi kube khona okuningi esizokwenza ngaleso sikhathi sekhefu lesifuna.
Yebo-ke, kuhle. Kodwa sesikhangela phela inhlelo leziyana ezokuhambisa. Okay, hayi ngabuya-ke sengikhuluma okuningi ngawe sembuyele emuva, but nango-ke uMarvellous were talking about the issue of permits. And
yes, I was actually listening as I'm also trying to get back Aunty Joyi Zim. Her network is bad, but it's an issue that, you know, is worrying a lot of women, especially regarding the permits. And I like what you said. So, you know, do you have like groups where women are, you know, banding together to discuss the way forward regarding these permits?
Yes, there are a lot of groups. There are a lot of groups on Facebook, on WhatsApp. Some groups are mixed with men, but there are some groups that are only women that are talking about permits and their renewal. You can see the level of panic that is among women. The fact that people will wake up every day in the morning and ask if there anything, and they take anything. So it's just the level of panicking that is there that you can see that people are just waiting, and they are not expecting a negative result. So I'm not sure what's going to happen to women that are waiting if the parliament comes out with a negative answer. It's going to crush us.
Yes, I can understand that because, you know, but speaking to some of the organizations that work with people dealing with permits, they were saying they're very hopeful that something positive will come out. But it's interesting, some were saying that there were even some people that were protesting today or yesterday in Pretoria about the permits. Did you see anything at the embassy?
No, I didn't hear any women that went there. I'm not sure which organization was that.
Yeah, it's a group of South Africans. But let me try and take Aunty Joyi to come onto the program, although her network is bad, but we'll try and hear what she's saying. Aunty Joyi Zim, Mungotipawo mazwenyu ekupedzisira kuti ndezvipi zvimwe zvamuri kuita semudzimai imomo muZimbabwe zvamungati imi zviri kubatsirawo mamwe madzimai.
Okay, sorry zvenyine network iri kudai kunetsa kudai. Inini ndinonyanyobatsirawo madzimai kuti apinde mumabhizinesi like kukurudzira mudzimai kuti sezvenguva yatiri ineyi haufaniri kungogara pamba uchingomirira kuti uzozviona kana baba vauya nesomething patable no. Ndinokurudzira madzimai kuti ingoshanda nezviripo uye dzidzawo kuita mabasa emaoko like ipapapa ndine vandakatodzidzisawo kuitawo zvekutengesa zvinhu zvedheko, vamwe vanotengesa mapleti, vamwe vachiitawo zvekubika izvizvi vachitengesa. Ndo zvimwe zvezvinhu zvandinongokurudzira nazvo madzimai.
Panguva ino tinoona kuti vanhu vari kushandisa dandemutande nyanya mukutengesa. Muri kuvadzidzisa here kuti zvinofamba sei padandemutande kana munhu achida kutengesa zvaari kuda kutengesa pamanetwork akadai? Taurai.
Okay. Like ipapapa ndinongoti munhu kazhinji mazuva ano kuti utotengesa kana kuti unyanya kuita zvinhu zvako zvizikanwa unogona kushanda neWhatsApp kana kuti Facebook. Ndinodzidza vanhu kuti unofanira kutovhura gurupu rako. Pamwe pacho pandinopinda ndoadvertisira munhu bhizinesi rake sevazhinji vanondideidza kuti yamuchadvertisirewo zvinhu zvedu. Ndopinda mumagurupu mamaime ndovabatsira kuti vanhu vazive kuti zvinhu zvinoshanda sei kana kuti zvinoitwa sei. Saka ndakatovaudza kutoti munhu kana uri mudzimai ukaita kagurupu kako kevanhu vanenge vachitengesa nekuti mazuva ano ndo upenyu hwatoveko. Pamwe pacho unogona kuti hatitotengesa parodhi hatogona kuwana mari shoma than ari kutengesa online. So kazhinji kacho ndinogona kutoti vhura gurupu rako, wavhura gurupu rako wopinza vanhu vako imomo toadvertisa mudzimai akutotengesa paya upenyu hwakutochinja. Saka ndinoona hangu sekuti nguva yatiri ine online zvekutengesa online ndo zvakatokosha. Ndo madzidziro andinovaita.
Ko kune avo vangada kunge vachishanda nemi tipei zvakare kuti vanokuwanai sei? Vari kuti ivo Aunty Joyi tazvifarira zvavari kutaura nyanya panyaya yezvemabatirwo edzimba panguva ino yekisimusi yati kusvika iyi. Vanokubata ipapo?
Alright, inini nhamba dzangu dzinoti 0 plus 263 777 148 419.
Taurai zvakare.
Plus 263 777 148 419.
Mubotitsanangura zvakare kuti muri kuti panyaya yekuti dzimba dzisaparare panguva ino yeCovid-19 takanangana nekisimusi?
Inini matsanangurira andaita pekutange kuti nguva yatiri ineyi Christmas zvayakusvika kudai so vakadzi ngatidzidzei kungozviti dzikamirei mbichana tichiona homwe dzana baba kuti munguva yeCovid yataatiri zvii zvazviri kuitika uye baba vaibata mari sei, nekuti tinogona kupa murume pressure kuti nditoda chakati nechakati nechakati paChristmas oficho unazoziva kuti zvinhu zvasina kumira mushe. Shanda nebhajeti yako, dzidza zvaunoda iwewe, hanzi dumba harina gilasi. Chireva kuti chaunodya paChristmas ka hachitombogone kuonekwa nemunhu ari kunzewo, iwe ndiwega unozvipa pressure wega. Saka semudzimai akarongeka akangwarira anofanira kuziva kuti umwe murume wake inobuda mari yakawanda sei. Kana ndaona mari yemurume wangu iri shoma ndakutoshanda nebhajeti yandinayo inoita kuti next year ndigorarama zvakanaka nemhuri ndisazvipinze muzvikwere zvinoda kufadza, zvinoda zvifadza nguva diki diki inopfuura. Because Christmas is one day. Saka kuti uyezve madzimai pamwe pacho tunhu twatinoda tunogona kutiparadzira matauriro chaiwo chaiwo. Ukatoziva kuti murume wako haana, haikona kumuudza kuti irombe nekuti ashaya mari yeChristmas, haikona kuudza murume kuti irombe nekuti haana kutenga kana kuti huku yawaida paChristmas. Makoresi pamwe aisitenga, pamwe nekuda kwenguva yatasangana nayo iyi ndo patadza kuwana mukana wekuti akutengere. Chigamuchira zviripo nekuti mangwana anouya. Next year zvinogona kuita zvakanaka mukadzokera pamairi. Saka madzimai ari mudzimba yeyo Christmas yasvika gutsikanai nezvaminazvo zvauya nababa patembo ngatigamuchireiwo izvozvo. Vana babavo vari kunzoko, kana uchiziva kuti iwewe une mari inokwanisa kuti mhuri yako ifare, fadzawo mukadzi wako. Haikona kuda kufadza vekunzoko, wemumba yeye mufadzewo, kuda nayo kana mari iripo. Mukadzi anotsanangurirwa mune zvakanaka futi kuti amai mwana mari handina, mari ndinayo kana kuti handina. Kana ari mukadzi anoda imba yake anotozwisisa kuti baba vemwana vari kuti mari havana, ichokwadi kuti havana. Kune varume masosika ekuti anoti inini mari handina iye ainayo zvake wozoona akuraradza achinodhakwa achikuda kudzoka achinogocha nemafriends but mhuri aisiya isina zvakakwana. Vana baba futi variko vasingatokoshesi maschool fees evana next year kutevera, vasingakoshesi kuti marent ari kuuya next year, vanongofunga zvekufara panguva iyoyo. Saka tiri kuti sisana baba nanamai, Christmas iri kusvika hatinoisi nekuti vamweni muchatemana nemapanga, vamwe muchairwa nenyaya yekuti muda kuedza kuzvifadza ofuti mari kana kuti nezviripo hazvisi kukwanisika. Saka mukadzi ukangozwa kuti ayo murume wangu hana chakati, haana mari yakati, saka takushanda nezviripo. Iriniwo baba kana mawanawo mari kuteera mukadzi uri pachena, mufarewo nemhuri zvakaringana nekuti nguva gore raperaka tofanira kucelebrate tabudawo mucovid tiri vapenyu, handisi ndizvo?
Ehe, ipapo pamataura kuti tiri kuona nyaya dzekupondana nekuurayana munyika dziri kuti wandei zviri kufamba sei dzatiri kungoverenga mumatandemutando?
Ya, inini ndinoona sekuti pamwe pacho vakadzi tinorera dambudziko rigokura usina wekusheya naye, handiti munozviona? Like kuti mukadzi anonyatsoziva kuti inini murume wangu anogara achindiponda everyday, anogara achindirova, umwe anomumukira kuchipatara but anoramba achingoshingira nemunhu iyeye. Pamwe pacho kurambanaka hazvirevi kuti wabvumirwa neupenyu. Pane pamwe paunonyatsoona kuti rufu rwandakatarisana narwo ukaona murume anokutema nedemo kana kuti anokurova achibaya nemapanga, munhu iyeye tiza neupenyu hwako, upenyu hautengi kaviri, unoraramwa kamwe chete. Saka ukaona kuine mhirizhonga dzakadaro dzokuti munotemana nematemo, gararai watiza. Then pouya pamwewo pekuti madzimai tinozviziva kuti tisu tinotaurisa pamwe pacho kana kuti murume anogona ngaakanganisa, ngatisaitewo zvinhu zvinoita kuti tizorwa mudzimba imomo. Vamwe vacho tinogona kutaura chaiko zvisiripo, kutuka mai vemurume kuti mai vako hure vakazodai, uchitaura zvisirizvo murume anogona nga asina pfungwa dzekukurova, asina hondo, asina pfungwa dzehondo newe, but akanzwa manje kuti amai ava masoko avari kutaura anogona kumupusha kusvikira azonetsana newe. Saka pamwe pacho kuzvininipisa nekuziva masoko ekutaura panguva yakafanira ndinoona ngezvinobatsira maberesi. Ende iwe kana uri mukadziwo ukaona kuti murume wangu ibhondi ndapota zvimwe zvinhu hazvi zvekugarira kuchengeta. Vakadzi vane problem yekunoshingirira. Pane pamwe pekuti yesi kushingira toda imba tichinambara tichiumbiriza, but pane pamwe pekuti kana ukauya nedemo handiko kushingirira demo ndavate ukambogurwa gumbo kanongira kuchipatara mangwana odzoka zvemumba imomo handioni pachibuda zvakanaka ipapo. Ndopamunozoona vamwe vazozviuraya kana kuti azourayiwa muzodai akatiza kare kare. Tinangowaziva munhu wako kuti munhu wangu imaitira ndi hasha dzake idzi anondisvisa pari. Vamwe mune mitorera hasha kusvika dzanokura dzosvika palevel risingagoni kusanangurika, muzosvika pakuurayana.
Aiwa, batai makadaro, tichadzoka kwamuri. Sir, we're hearing there from Aunty Joyi Zim, who I have on a WhatsApp call. She's just explaining about, some of the issues that are facing women, especially during this COVID-19. She's saying that, for those women that are abused, if you need to get out, get out. And she was saying that, she's seen that there is a high increase of broken down families in Zimbabwe at the moment due to COVID-19. And then she was also talking about it's important for women to spend according to what they have, especially families now that people, the husbands and some of the wives are no longer working who are vending. But we have 2 minutes left, so I'll leave it over to you and Miss Mathuthu to just round us up.
Yes, we've spoken to Miss Mathuthu has told us some issues on domestic violence during COVID-19. If you can tell us, has the situation gotten better, Miss Mathuthu, or is still the same in domestic violence with COVID-19?
This situation here, especially here in South Africa, doesn't get better. It doesn't get better. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Women are killed like every day. We are there as women organizations, but I think what we are doing is not enough to stop men from killing women. What we are doing is not enough. Women are being killed every day. From the 25th of November here in South Africa, there is the campaign against gender-based violence, the 10 days of activism against gender-based violence. As the Zim Imbokodo, we just going to just campaign and say, women, we are being killed. Instead of crying and saying, men, stop killing us, our motive now is to say, let's just look at why are they killing us? Let's just get to the root of that. Why are they killing us? Maybe if we find the reason why, maybe they will stop killing us. Because everyone has said it. The organizations have said it. everyone has spoken to men. Men stop killing women, but the killings continue each and every day. So now we're going to say during the 10 days of activism that are coming from the 25th of November, women, why are they killing us? Let's find.
Thank you so much, Miss Mathuthu. Unfortunately, time is not on our side. I know, you were getting heated up, and we want you to bring that passion to our next program. So we want to thank you, Miss Victress Mathuthu, and also to thank Aunty Joyi Zimbabwe for having been here on our program. I'm Marvellous Mhlanga-Nyahuye here in Washington, D.C., saying have a very good evening.
And I'm loSithandekile Mhlanga.